What's up, guys? So I'm back with another episode of the More Ideas Combat Pubcast, and I'm going to go over the Mexico City card. They had all the weigh-ins this morning. Everyone made weight. Not one fighter missed weight. The one fighter that I was worried about was Macy Chiasson, because she had missed weight multiple times previously versus Eileen, or now she's taking on Eileen Perez. She actually came in at 135 at the limit, the bantamweight limit. So she's good to go. Everyone's good to go. Everyone made weight, so the card is fully intact. There's no pullouts. There was one catch weight, but I believe it was a last minute replacement, so they did it at 130 and not 125 where it was scheduled at. But other than that, the card is a full go, and Mexico City is ready for the event. I was watching a little bit of Morning Combat earlier with Luke Thomas, and he had Rodrigo Del Costa on there. It was a great watch. If you guys can watch it, Morning Combat with Luke Thomas and Rodrigo Del Costa. It was an amazing episode of Morning Combat. And I always give love to the people that I watch, and always in taking content. This is what I love. I love the sport of MMA. I love boxing. So anywhere I can get content from, I watch. So shout out to Morning Combat. But that was a great episode. And he's an insider in the Mexican MMA world, as well as boxing and as well as other things. Brandon Moreno is the big favorite, or he's not. He is the favorite, but not a huge favorite. He's minus 218, taking on Lawner Kavanaugh. I'm sorry. Brandon Moreno is ranked number 6 at flyweight. This fight it's one of those fights where he's not gonna move the needle either way. If he finishes Lawner Kavanaugh by a knockout or a submission, I think he still stays at number 6. He's not going to move up because Lawner Kavanaugh is not ranked. So it's like he's damned if he does, damned if he don't. Because if Lawner Walker gets a victory over Brandon Moreno in Mexico City, that's huge for him, and it just makes Brandon Moreno look really bad. But when I was listening to Rodrigo Del Costa, he said that Lawner Kavanaugh has only been in Mexico City for about a week and a half, 2 weeks, right? So everyone knows about the Mile High City in Denver. Mexico City actually sits higher in altitude than Denver, Colorado. I know firsthand. I went to Mexico City 2 years ago, and it damn near killed me. We went out a night before. The next morning, I was the only one that got up. I was going to go to the pyramids in Teotihuacan to go see the Pyramid of the Sun, the Pyramid of the Moon, Pyramid of Quetzalcoatl, and do the whole thing. And as we're driving up there, I got so sick. Like, I thought I was having a heart attack in the fucking car. My driver, who was a cousin of my friend, who was basically like our Uber driver, who took us around everywhere. Just the best guy. Shout out Pelon. He took care of us the entire time we were there. He gave me his heart monitor, and my shit was beating at like 175 a minute. Like, I thought I was gonna fucking die in that car. We made it to the pyramids. I walked up there far enough to see the Pyramid of the Sun, and then I just started throwing up violently. Like, I was so sick with altitude sickness. My brother will say that it wasn't the altitude sickness. It was probably the 45 beers that I drank the night before. But, yeah, man, it's no joke. I mean, Mexico City sits high up there. And if he's only been there for a week and a half, 2 weeks, we saw what happened to Cain Velasquez, who is the greatest cardio machine outside of Merab Dvalishvili. Cain Velasquez got to Mexico City a week or 2 weeks before when he fought Fabricio Verdun for the heavyweight title, when he lost it to Fabricio in Mexico City. And to see somebody like Cain, who is just a cardio machine, just fold like that at the elevation, it just tells you everything you need to know about this main event. Like, I know Brandon Moreno is a slight favorite. I mean, not a slight favorite. He's minus 218, so he is the favorite. But I would probably push that hard because Moreno's been there for months already. A minimum of a month. And that's probably what it takes to get acclimated to the elevation in Mexico City. So Brandon Moreno's been there. This is his 3rd time headlining Mexico City card, so he knows what it is. Lawner Kavanaugh's only been there for a week and a half, 2 weeks at the most. Yeah, I would bet big on Brandon Moreno. I know what it feels like firsthand. It fucking sucks. I thought I was having a heart attack. I was in bed for the entire day after we got back. I mean, it sucked. It sucked bad. So Brandon Moreno over Lona Kavanaugh is what I'm going to go with. Even at the minus 218, it's a quality bet. But look, Lona Kavanaugh is a tough dude. He's a really tough dude. He's been spending a lot of time with, is it David Wood, the other guy from England who always wins. I've probably made as much money as anybody betting on David Wood. He is a scrapper, and every time he fights, I always bet David Wood. But he's in his corner. He's in his camp. So he's a tough dude. He's been there. He's seen what it looks like, what it takes to win in the UFC. But I think he's just in over his head against Brandon Moreno, especially in Mexico City at that elevation. So I'm going to go Brandon Moreno. The co-main event, I had to go back and watch some fights for David Martinez. I know I like David Martinez. He's a favorite at minus 305. I went back. I watched his fight against Rob Font. I watched his Contender Series fight. He has so much movement. He's so quick. He has like a taekwondo, karate background. I think he's going to beat Marlon Vera, and I will not be surprised if he can knock out Marlon Vera. He has a very big punch. Chito is he's very straightforward. He will march you down, but he doesn't have a lot of lateral movement. David Martinez never stops moving. He's always moving laterally. He's always on angles. And if he catches Marlon Vera, Chito, standing still, he's going to get hit with either a high kick or a big right hand. I love Chito Vera, man. He's been one of my favorite fighters for the longest time, man. I love his attitude. I love his look. I like the way he fights. Like, he's got a fucking granite chin. I mean, Jesus Christ, man. That dude has a cinder block for a chin. I mean, you just can't knock him out. But I think if anybody's going to do it, it might be David Martinez in this fight because Marlon's on a slide right now. I mentioned it earlier in a previous video. He hasn't won since Sean O'Malley, and that was like in 2022, 2021. So he desperately needs a win. He knows his back's up against the wall. But we're going to see how this plays out because Chito he knows he needs to win. But David Martinez, this is going to be that big scalp that he needs to hang on his wall. If he can get a guy out of there who fought for a world title, he's ranked ahead of him in the standings, in the rankings. If he can beat Marlon Chito Vera, that's going to be huge for David Martinez. I mean, fuck, man. He's a minus 305. I got to go with David Martinez in this one. The feature fight, Daniel Selhuber versus King Green. Bobby King Green. Or it's just King Green now, I guess. Selhuber is a minus 500. And he lost his last fight against Michael Johnson, and he was like a minus 400 in that fight. And then he lost against Ribavix at the Sphere, and he was favored in that fight. That fight was a dog fight, though. It was a war, absolute war. So I'm not going to give him too much shit because Ribavix, he's Argentinian, but man, that motherfucker fought like a Mexican that night. He brought it to Selhuber. Selhuber brought it back to him. It was back and forth. I mean, it was a split decision win for Ribavix. I thought it could have went either way, but damn, that was a damn good fight. But I was listening to Rodrigo Da Costa, like I said earlier. He said he's very familiar with Daniel Selhuber. He's known him for like almost 10 years. The last fight with Michael Johnson, they got into a lot of trash talk, and it really made him feel uncomfortable. He wasn't used to that. He got out of his element, and he was just not able to pull the trigger inside the cage against Michael Johnson. You know, Michael Johnson gave him a few fits with the speed and just his veteran savviness in there. But I think Daniel Selhuber coming back against Bobby King Green, who he does like the pressure, but he walks forward with his hands down. He likes to talk shit. As long as Daniel Selhuber doesn't allow Bobby King Green to get in his head, I think Selhuber wins, and he probably gets a stoppage. I'm going to go to Daniel Selhuber on this fight. The next fight is one that I'm really looking forward to. It's Edgar Chairez versus Felipe Bunez. Edgar Chairez is a minus 325. But his story, man, his story of coming up in Mexicali in the desert, it's like one of the hottest, I think it is the hottest city in all of Mexico because it is right dead center in the middle of the desert. I think it might be the Sonoran Desert where it's at, Mexicali. But, you know, his up and downs, you know, his parents wanted him to either go to school or go to work. And his grandfather was the one who believed in his dream. He wanted him to be a boxer, but he found MMA and he supported him. Edgar Chairez got really sick and needed a surgery. His grandfather sold his truck to pay for the surgery, and he always had his back. His very first fight in Mexico City, when he won, his grandfather was there, and then the next year, his grandfather had passed away. He had that great knockout, or the great submission win over the Brazilian. I can't remember his name right now. And then he ran into the crowd, and his grandfather wasn't there, and it was heartbreaking. His post-fight interview, he was in tears, just saying that, he wished his grandfather was there, but he knows that his grandfather was in the first row in heaven watching his grandson win the fight. And but Edgar Chairez, I think, is going to win, and I think he can win by knockout, by stoppage for sure. I think the over-under is 1.5. I think I could see going under 1.5 for Edgar Chairez, but stoppage, I think for sure. I think Edgar Chairez gets him out of there. The next fight down, Emmanuel Rodriguez versus Kevin Borjas. Kevin Borjas from Peru. Emmanuel Rodriguez, it's his debut in Mexico. It's his debut in the UFC. He's from Mexico, but he is a minus 455. Guys, that is a huge gap in the betting lines. Emmanuel Rodriguez has DC's wrestling coach in his corner, so he's doing a lot of work on the wrestling. I'm interested to see how this fight goes, but I'm going to have to go the favorite, Emmanuel Rodriguez. Santiago Luna versus Angel Pacheco. Santiago Luna is a huge favorite at minus 625. Angel Pacheco, does it even really matter? I guess I'm going to go Santiago Luna on this one, just to get out of the way, man. Best of luck to Angel Pacheco. I think he was like a plus 500 or something like that. So they're picking Santiago Luna to win. So I'm going to go Santiago Luna. And then the next fight down, I'm going to jump down to the Ailin Perez versus Macy Chiasson. Like I said, Chiasson has missed weight the last few times. She made weight. She made championship weight. She didn't make 136. She made 135 right on the dot. Ailin Perez came in at 136, a pound heavier. She's number 7. Chiasson's number 8. I'm going to go Ailin Perez on this one. But if there's anyone on this whole card that can be a dog, it's Macy Chiasson. But I'm still going to lean Ailin Perez on this one just because she has... Man, she's probably got one of the best dump trucks in all of UFC, all of MMA. Her and Mackenzie Dern can fight it out for the number 1 spot. But, man, Ailin Perez is up there, man. She got that dump truck on her, man. She's got that bumper on her. And the last one I'm going to go over, Christian Quinones versus Chris Monteño. Everyone, if you don't know who Chris Monteño was, he's the one that took the last-minute fight against Sean O'Malley and just got the absolute shit beat at him for 5 rounds, and then he got stopped in the 5th. He took a beating. They gave him another shot. He got beat again by knockout. This is his last time out there, but Quinones is at a minus 675. I got to give it to Quinones, man. Chris Monteño, I don't know how long he's been in Mexico City, but I don't think it's long enough, man. I think he gets finished in this fight. So that's it for the Mexico City card. I'm going to wrap it up on that. I want to get to some other news too. So there was some breaking news about Kamaru Usman talking about the possibility of getting the title shot against Islam Makhachev. And he was on his podcast with Henry Cejudo. And he was like, I really was pushing for the Islam fight. He goes, I think the fans want it. I want it. Islam wants it. It'd be great for Islam, great for me, great for the fans, great for the company. I hate shitting. I don't like to shit on Kamaru Usman. He's from my hometown, Arlington, Texas. We went to the same high school together. We have a lot of mutual friends. I'm older than Kamaru, so he was younger than me. So I really never knew him in high school. I think he was probably a freshman my senior year at Bowie High School. I don't think he should have got the title shot, honestly. Nobody wants to see it. I didn't want to see it. The fans aren't, clamoring for that fight. The company obviously is not wanting that fight if they're making him jump through all these hoops to try to get that fight. He just beat Joaquin Buckley his last fight. And it wasn't a stoppage. He just out-wrestled Joaquin Buckley. I don't think that fight gives you a fight at the title against the number 1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. I understand that you used to be a pound-for-pound number 1, but you're not no longer that pound for pound number one. You got beat by Leon with the head kick. You got beat by Leon in the rematch, and then you came back and fought Joaquin Buckley. Joaquin Buckley is not going to get you a title shot. You got guys like Michael Morales, Carlos Prates, who are finishing guys that are ranked way above you. You know, Prates finishing Leon. Michael Morales finishing Sean Brady. Those guys. And then you have Ian Gary that's right there who just beat Bilal, the former world champion. I love Kamaru Usman. I like to support him, but you're not in the conversation. You're not in the conversation. I think I would like to see Kamaru fight Sean Brady. If you're going to stay at 170, fight Sean Brady. If you beat Sean Brady, then, okay, we'll talk about you going up and fighting Islam if Ilia doesn't beat you to it. You know, and that's a possibility because it's not out of... It's still in the talks. That could happen. You know, Ilia, if he gets past whoever he's going to fight next, probably Justin Gaethje. If he gets past Justin Gaethje and goes up to fight Ilia or Islam, that's going to be the biggest fight in UFC history. You know, he's going for a third title against the number one pound for pound fighter in the world in Islam Makhachev. I'm sorry, man, but take your ticket and wait in line. You got to get another win. You have to get another win. And from where everything's saying, how it's looking and it's playing out, it's going to be Ian Gary versus Islam Makhachev next. And then we'll see how it goes from there. But I think Kamaru versus Sean Brady would be a good matchup. I really believe so. What else? Sean Brady, Kamaru Usman, Mexico City. Yeah, I think that's it for me right now. I think that's it. I can't think of anything else. Oh, the last thing, the White House card is still not made official. It still hasn't been posted. Everyone thought it was going to be Ilia versus Justin Gaethje because Justin Gaethje is American. He's Mexican-American. His mother's from Sonora, Mexico. His dad is from German descent, but he's American. He proudly toasts the American flag. I love it. But I think they're saying that for geopolitical reasons that they might not want to make that fight the main event at the White House. They don't want to see a Georgian fighter who was raised in Spain, who speaks Spanish, possibly knock out Justin Gaethje. The American-toting, red-blooded American and Justin Gaethje, they don't want to see him get knocked out in front of the world before the 250th birthday of the United States of America. I don't know if that's true. That's just been the speculation around the socials that's going around. I don't think it should be an all-American card. I mean, Dana White himself said it's not going to be an America versus the world or anything like that. He's like, I just want to put on the greatest fight card for the White House. So who cares? You know, bring in the best guys in the world. You know, it sucks that right now Islam is on Ramadan right now. So he's not going to be ready for that card, or maybe afterwards because it got a couple more weeks. Probably about 30 more days of Ramadan left, I believe. I have to ask my brother-in-law. But, I mean, I think that's plenty of time to get ready for June. You know, why not bring in Islam? They already set Pereira versus Gane in July, I believe. You know, so, I mean, I don't know what they're going to do with this card. I really don't. I mean, they keep saying that it's done, that it's built, that it's not done, that they have options. I don't even fucking think they know what the hell is going on. I think it's going back and forth. They have a card set. They took it to the White House. Maybe Donald Trump was like, no. I want to see the Americans win because it's the 250th birthday of the United States of America. We can't look bad. So they're having to reshuffle. I don't know, but to me, that's what it feels like. But we'll see. And I'm looking forward to it. Like, I really am looking forward to that White House card. And then, you know, a couple weeks after that, it's going to be on June 15th or June 23rd. So 2 weeks after that, it's going to be International Fight Week. So we're going to have we have to have a big card for International Fight Week. That's one of the biggest cards of the entire year outside of the New York City card and the Miami card. So I'm very curious to see how they round out that card. So yeah, that's it for me. Oh, one more thing. Going back to the Kamaru Usman thing. Sorry, that completely slipped my mind. So Kamaru said, that he really was pushing for the fight. Hunter Campbell wanted to move in a different direction. He's telling Henry, so you know me, I can do what I say I can do, and I will perform, but I can't do meaningless fights anymore. Everything has to have a meaning for it. He wants the title, okay? I don't think he's going to get the title shot at 170. I really don't think so. Unless he can fight Sean Brady, beat Sean Brady, and then catapult himself up to the number 1, number 2, and then fight Islam if he still has the title, if he doesn't fight Ilia before that. But he said he was offered DDP, Dricus Du Plesis, at 185. He goes, but I don't want to take meaningless fights. If you beat Dricus Du Plesis at 185, I think if you can beat Dricus at 185, that automatically catapults you up to the number 1 contender spot of whoever holds the title at 185. We don't know if Khamzat Chimaev is going to stay at 185. Strickland might get the next shot. Nasruddin's still right there at number 1. So there's a lot of things that can play out. But if you beat the former world champion in Dricus Du Plesis, you'll be right there in the conversation. I think he might have a better chance at winning the 185-pound title at middleweight if he beats Dricus Du Plesis than he does at beating Sean Brady to get a title shot at 170. I honestly believe that. I don't think he beats Dricus. I think Dricus is way too big for him, and it's so awkward that Dricus is not going to be having that. He's not going to get out-wrestled by Kamaru. Kamaru, I think he fought a good fight against Khamzat at 185, and he was wearing him down in that 3rd round. But I just think Dricus is way too awkward for him. I think Dricus beats him. I could even see Dricus stopping him. But if he can beat Dricus, dude, you're on the fast track to the 185-pound title. So why would you not take that fight? That is a meaningful fight. So that's why I don't understand why he was like, I just want meaningful fights. I'm not just going to fight just to fight. Dude, that fight right there is going to give you a big-time payday. He's a former world champion, and it's going to fast-track you to the 185-pound middleweight title. Whoever holds it at the time. And there's a storyline. There's a storyline there already. When Dricus and Izzy were going back and forth a couple years ago about the 3 kings, the African kings, and Dricus was like, I'm the real African king. I'm the real African fighter around here. Dude, there's a storyline built in. Fucking get on that. Like, wear that storyline out and say, okay, you might have beat one king, but I'm another king coming up. Let's see if you can beat me. Like, dude, there's money to be made right there. Why would you not take that fight? I don't understand it. Maybe Kamaru has a different vision than I do, but I think if he really wants a title, I don't think he's going to get it at 170. There's too many good guys that are ahead of him at the 170-pound division. Fight Dricus, beat Dricus if you can. Dude, you are right there, and you have the name value. They would give you the fight over Imavov or Strickland against Khamzat, and that's a rematch for you. So why would you not fight DDP? Like, fight DDP. That's what I think he should have done. That would have been a great fight. And if he would have won, man, the storyline writes itself. You get another chance at Khamzat Chimaev, who you probably could have beat if it was a 5-round fight. There's history there. Man, I think he dropped the ball. That was a dropped opportunity, a lost opportunity for Kamaru Usman. And I love Kamaru. And, like I said, we're from the same hometown, Arlington, Texas. We went to the same high school together. We have a lot of mutual friends, even though we've never met personally. But, man, I think he should have took that fight, because winning that fight opens up so many more doors for you to become a double champ in a different division and cement yourself in the history books, as another double champ. I thought he dropped the ball, but I guess we'll see how it plays out. That's it for me, guys. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace!